With some image cleanup tasks, you need to strike a balance between a relatively automated approach and one where you can apply a little bit of control over the process. And this image obviously needs a lot of work, but there are some good examples within this image of areas where it's best to exercise a little bit of control rather than using automated processes. Let's take a look at some of those areas. I'll zoom in a little bit here, and we can see some blemishes we might like to clean up around the eye as well as on the forehead and into the hairline here. Let's take a look at how we can clean these areas up, balancing the desire for an automated adjustment with the control we need to ensure the best result. I'll start off by creating a new empty image layer. I'll click on the Create New Layer button, the blank sheet of paper icon at the bottom of the Layers panel. I'll go ahead and double click on the name for this layer and type a new name that is more meaningful. I'll just type Cleanup and then press Enter or Return. I'll then go to the toolbox where I can choose the Healing Brush tool, which is hiding below the Spot Healing Brush tool. So I'll go ahead and click and hold the mouse on the button for the Spot Healing Brush tool and then choose Healing Brush tool from the flyout menu that appears. One of the key things to keep in mind when it comes to the Spot Healing Brush tool versus the Healing Brush tool is that the Healing Brush tool allows us to choose a source of pixels to use for our cleanup work. The Spot Healing Brush tool, by contrast, will automatically choose a source for the area that you specify you want Photoshop to clean up. So the Healing Brush tool gives us a little bit more control when it comes to the geography of cleaning up our image. The only drawback really is that the Healing Brush tool does not include the Content Aware feature. So on the options bar, you won't find Content Aware among your options. You'll simply need to set the source to Sampled. You also want to make sure that the Sample option is set to All Layers. So I'll click the pop-up here and make sure that I've chosen All Layers, and then I want to make sure to turn on the button to the right here. You can see that it is pressed in. That button means that adjustment layers should be ignored when you're painting with the Healing Brush tool. These settings in combination allow me to work on a separate layer but not have the effect of adjustment layers taken into account while I'm painting my corrective pixels. With everything configured, I'm ready to get started. I'll go ahead and choose a source. I'll clean up this area of the eye first. I'll hold the Alt key on Windows or the Option key on Macintosh and then click on an area that I think represents a good source for the area that I want to clean up. So in effect, I'm copying pixels from this area and then I'll go paint them over into this area. I'll release the mouse and Photoshop will blend the source area into the destination so that everything matches up reasonably well. I'll repeat that process over here. I'll hold the Alt or Option key and click on a source of pixels, and then I'll paint there and also there as well as there in order to sort of rebuild that shadow area. In similar fashion, I can go and choose a source for other portions of the image that need to be cleaned up. Now, by and large, I'm only going to use the Healing Brush tool for situations where I really want to control which source of pixels will be used. I'll go ahead and pan across the photo here, for example, and you can see I have a blemish that's going across the hairline, and so I want to choose the hairline, holding the Alt or Option key while clicking in that area of Good Hairline, and then click and drag across that blemish. And I can repeat that process as needed for additional areas until I've completely removed that blemish. So you can see, working with the Healing Brush tool does have its disadvantages. It's not as fast to use as the Spot Healing Brush tool. There's a little bit more work involved because we need to set the source of pixels, and we don't have the benefit of the Content Aware technology. But that said, we do have the significant advantage of being able to choose a specific source of pixels for our image cleanup work. And that can be very important in certain situations. So more often than not, the Spot Healing Brush tool is the tool I go to first. But when I want to be able to choose a specific source in order to improve my results for image cleanup, I'll make use of the Healing Brush tool.